Hi, welcome again. Today we will discuss the summary of the chapter on the face of it. First of all, we discuss about the author Susan Hill. Susan Hill was born in 1942 in Scarborough, North Yorkshire in England. She is an English author of fiction and non-fiction works. She has written many novels like The Woman in Black, The Mist in the Mirror, and I Am the King of the Castle. She has also received many awards like Somerset Maugham Award in 1971. Let's see the introduction of the lesson. This story is about a teenage boy, Daddy, who has a bun face, and Mr. Lamb, who is a disabled old man. Mr. Lamb has an artificial leg made of tin. Accidentally, Daddy enters his garden so that he can hide himself from the people who hate him because of his ugly face. Mr. Lamb not only welcomes him in his garden but also encourages him to lead a normal life, leaving behind his past. Let's see the summary. The story begins with a teenage boy named Daddy who enters Mr. Lamb's garden. His face is burnt off one side due to an accident when acid fell on half of his face. He has gone there to hide himself because he is afraid of facing people. He also fears being teased by others. But when he enters his garden, he finds someone already present there. He tries to leave the place, but he is stopped by the old man, Mr. Lamb, the owner of the garden. Derry feels guilty for entering the garden without permission. Mr. Lamb welcomes him and tells him not to leave the garden. Derry wants to leave because he thinks people don't like his face and they get afraid of his looks. But Mr. Lamb insists him to stay there. They enter into a conversation that how Derry is not liked by anyone and how he hates people behaving like this with him. Mr. Lamb tries to console him. He also tells him that he has a tin leg and kids make fun of him. Still, he is not depressed and enjoys his life. They both talk about various things and this leads to revelation of Derry's fear, depression and hatred about his being in such condition. But Mr. Lamb keeps on telling him to think about all the positive things. Soon they become friends and Mr. Lamb asks him to help him in plucking the crab apples of his garden. Derry tells him that he had come too far from his home and hadn't told anything about this to his mother. Mr. Lamb tells him to take permission from his mother. Derry finds it difficult and this leads to a small quarrel between both of them. At last, Derry tells him that he would come back after taking his mother's permission. His mother does not want him to go back, but Derry comes back again to fulfill his promise. Meanwhile, Mr. Lamb climbs the ladder on his own to pluck the crab apples, as he was sure that Derry would not return. He was disabled and it was difficult for him to climb the ladder. Mr. Lamb falls from his ladder and dies. On the other hand, Derry returns to the garden to help him. When he enters the garden, he sees Mr. Lamb lying on the ground. Derry tries hard to make him move, but he did not get any response from him. Finally, he comes to know that he is dead and starts crying. The moral of the story. The positive moral of the story is the ones who are physically challenged and disabled must focus on the brighter side of the life, and they must not brood over the shortcomings they have. Besides, the society must accept them the way they are, and must be helpful towards them and expand their social interaction so that they can fight the loneliness, disappointment, and depression. Okay, thank you.